Hi there everybody, Peter of England here, wishing you a very, very Merry Christmas, and we hope a very prosperous and eventful 2019. Now, the reason for this video, which is being recorded on Christmas Eve, is just a hunch and a proposition that I have for everybody out there who follows my channel, and also is interested to know what's going on in the United States as regard the government close down or shutdown of the government facilities. President Trump the other day said it could be a long time before it opens again, and this is because he can't get agreement with the Democrats or the demonocrats concerning the requirements for the money for the wall, the border wall. So there's also two things to point to now, is the fact that there are two problems with walls. One is Wall Street, one is the border wall. And what you could see if you followed the international markets and the Dow Jones's performance over the last few weeks, it looks like it's got into bear territory for the first time in many, many years, probably a decade. So it looks like there's some pressure being brought to bear on Trump and his organisation to, shall we say, play ball and negotiate. Now, he's taken a very hard line and seems not to be prepared to negotiate. So what this had me thinking the other day is, as the government has been shut down and now it's very convenient over the Christmas and New Year holidays, what if the following scenario had played directly into his hands and the hands of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, whose flags you will see in the Oval Office, who in effect are calling the shots and commanding and controlling these events, not Trump and his administration. So, we have the government closed down. What happened in November the 6th, on the midterm elections, it seems that, not seems, but it's quite apparent, that the Democrats won an extra 43 seats, thereabouts, and took control of the House. Now, what this means, unfortunately, as we go into 2019, the beginning of January, Nancy Pelosi, as the Speaker, will take control of the House, and the Democrats have promised that they will bring every type of committee and hearing and investigation imaginable against Donald Trump, even to the extent of trying to impeach him. Now, what this would have meant is that the Republican agenda would stall, and no amount of cajoling or bargaining can change the minds of the likes of Blumenthal, Pelosi, Schumer, Maxine Waters, and the other sort of crazy car gang that are running the Democratic one-trick pony show. So, what you find is also the fake hypocrisy of these people is that Barack Obama and Schumer and Pelosi in the past have all called for tighter border controls and also for greater security on that border. So they're hypocritical in the fact that they are no longer practicing what they are preaching, and this is just pure politics to challenge Trump no matter what. If Trump could solve the economic problems by January the 1st, the Democrats would vote against it because it's come out of Trump's mouth. So it's anything Trump we hate, anything that we want to do, that's just fine. So we've got potentially for the new year nothing but problems, problems, problems. So we also know that the investigations into the Trump campaign by Mueller, the special counsel, have come up with nothing after 2 years and will come up with nothing. The fact that Mueller is there is to act as a backstop or as a filter to find out what's been done in the past and to arrange escape routes and narratives for all those implicated in the Hoover 55 approximate thousand, that's 55,000 sealed indictments that are waiting to be delivered to various members of the media, the political, the judicial branches and the executive branches of government. So, wouldn't it be very, very convenient now, with a government shutdown, purportedly coming about because the Democrats wouldn't agree for the border funding, wouldn't it be very convenient now if the government didn't reopen, because for it to reopen in the new year is nothing but bad news as far as the Republican Party and its agenda is concerned. In the wake of all of that, we have a fairly high degree of probability that the next stage of the war between the Democrats and the Republicans and the corporatocracy and the satanic clans that are running the United States and the global cartels are going to be arrested. Military tribunals are being prepared. Guantanamo has been well refurbished. There are 105 military police have just been sent there for preparatory duties just before Christmas. So we see that things are moving along, and that could be the agenda. So what I'm seeing here is also the American economy isn't doing so well. The Fed have threatened to increase rates, and that's starting probably, I think, their next major next meeting for the Fed is in March. Trump is adamantly against that, and so should big business be, because with 21 trillion of debt outstanding, the slightest increase in the interest rate will cause catastrophic implications throughout the world economies. So, why would they want to do that? They are trying, probably as a last-ditch effort, trying to now collapse the economy, because if they can't win it one way or the other, they'll win it regardless. And that's by imploding or exploding the economy and blaming it on Trump. And that's what the narrative and the agenda seems to be at the moment. Blame everything on Trump and blame the cause of the economic woes and misery, not on the fact that the Clintons and Obama and the Schumers and the Pelosi's were all taking trips to China to negotiate with Google and the Chinese government as to how to control via communist insurgency of stealth through Trojan horses to bring down and take down America and the American military. You had all that going on in the background, but the fake news or the mainstream media does not touch it at all. So, as a last-ditch effort to avoid Air Guantanamo, which is getting ready to take them all there to where they would have put you, we have the 55,000 indictments ready to roll. We have the government closed down. We have enough money in the Department of Defense budget, especially with Trump being the commander-in-chief, to not only fund the war, but have quite a lot of trillions left over. And these are supported by documents which I've discovered, which shows that, in effect, the entire United States budget deficit, which could never ever be paid off, is cloned and ready possibly to be rolled out through a double-entry bookkeeping system or set off by the United States military. So I'm making these predictions. I'm stating this now on Christmas Eve just in case I'm right. It's a hunch I have. It's a bit of a, as they would say in American football parlance, a Hail Mary throw, or coming out of very, very left field. But I have a feeling that if I wanted a certain scenario to be unfolding, then this would be perfect for me. Because if the government stays closed, you haven't got any problem with the Democrats, because they all have to stay home and do their knitting or get up to trying to arrange their Antifa and other left-wing agenda movements in the comfort of their own home, because they won't be going to work, because they won't be getting paid. The military is probably ready to step in, and I think there is going to be a great deal of turbulence through 2019, and I know above all else that the main agenda for the Democrats and the New World Order and the Soros Foundation individuals is to bring Trump down no matter what. So it's a battle of good against evil. It's of biblical proportions. Christmas time is a time of giving, and we have to think of Christ at this time. And so a very Christic approach to all this would be there does come a time when, for the better, for the bettering of all individuals, certain groups or factions have to take control and have to deliver to you what you might not have been able to deliver yourself, because doing anything through the ballot box is no longer a viable option when you have an opposame organisation prior, which meant it didn't matter whether you put Republicans in, or Democrats, or Conservatives, or Liberals, or a Labour Party in the UK, you ended up with the same porridge being fired at you. So that's really what I want to say. The government might be staying closed down for a long time because they want it to stay closed, and this is a preparatory move to stymie the Democratic Party's hotbed pursuit campaign of pursuing Trump with endless and constant litigation or threats of, and committees and subpoenas through Special Counsel Mueller. So that's really what I've got to say. The only other thing I'd like to just add as we finish, please go to the video links below. We have some new websites coming. The Gilets Jaunes movement is strong as ever, as you can see. We're going to be moving that along quite dramatically in the UK at the beginning of January. And for those of you who might want one of these and want to see what's on the back of them, please go to the removement.net website, go to the shop and have a look around there and take your pick. So I'd like to wish you all again Merry Christmas. 2019 is going to be electric hot, and there are things coming your way the likes of which you would never have believed possible. But what you must do is you must join with an organisation, whether it's the Gilets Jaunes, whether it's Removement, whether it's Anonymous, but do something, get out of the house, get onto the street, and let the French show you how it should be done. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas.